afternoon, YouTube. JPowTV here, and today I'm here to talk to you about the end of Marvel's first phase of the multiverse saga. Having just seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it got me thinking where Marvel is headed when it comes to the culmination event of the developed films of phases 4, 5, and 6. Depending on who you ask, Marvel is churning out a sheer ton of content with middling results, or is circling the toilet of mediocrity before falling flat on its face. But to be fair, it is not entirely Marvel's fault. Yes, they are hiring a few poor choice of directors, not having a sizable workforce for the CGI, and the writers could do with a bit more polishing. But that's on their side. On the consumer side, people are expecting Marvel to reach the same levels that they had with Avengers Endgame. And to be honest, that's just completely unrealistic. Nothing could potentially be that big without building up to it. That's why the Infinity War and Endgame duology was so great. That being said, the issue with Phase 4 is that there wasn't anything left behind to continue a plot from. I mean, this isn't Star Wars, where episodes 1 through 9 have an absolute path from start to finish, with even breaks in between. I would be remiss in saying that Phase 4 has had some problems in its development in all the aforementioned cases. Like, the directors don't feel like they mix well with some of the works, and the writing just really isn't all that great. Never mind how the CGI affects shows like She-Hulk or WandaVision or any of the movies like Shang-Chi or The Eternals. Phase 4's main problem is that it's entirely skippable. Nothing is done in Phase 4 that really matters in the grand scheme of the multiverse. Sure, some of the plots do work in the short term, but the problem with this is simply this. All the Disney Plus shows act as extended prologues for future films in Phase 4 and 5. Yet somehow it still manages to be terrible. Case in point, WandaVision. I like Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's a great actress. I could never get tired of her character of the Scarlet Witch. The problem is that WandaVision had her going through the 5 stages of grief and then expects you to sympathize with her, only to rip that right off and just say, hey, no, she's the full-blown villain for Doctor Strange 2. Then there's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where you'd think that a show about Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes would be fun, but it is just an extended prologue to Captain America: The New World Order. In case it's unclear at this point, what I am saying is that Phase 4 is just set up for future films and shows that don't want to waste time developing said plot points during the films. And don't get me started on the actual films themselves. Like Black Widow. My god, Marvel, what did they do to you? I was expecting a movie on the same level of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, a slick thriller of sheer action with suspense thrown in that would have been so great to watch on so many levels, but no. Marvel decided, hey, let's take a shot at tequila for every time we have a good idea. The end result was a mess with emphasis on new characters going forward and a sloppy emphasis on sloppy love letter to Scarlett Johansson that basically said, thank you for your time, bye. Okay, sister, you get up there and you be the new Black Widow. I actually don't remember Natasha's sister's name. She is so forgettable that she's just Natasha's sister to me. Then there's Russian Captain America and Rachel Weisz. Oh, I'm sorry. Is anybody angry that I don't know their names? Well, tell me, what is there to know about these characters that makes them worth remembering? The only film in the entire Phase 4 that has some sort of setup beyond its main character is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, because it may hint at something that's yet to come. Yes, Spider-Man No Way Home is by far the best film in the phase, but that's still only forwarding his story. The only show that has any sort of substance to it is Loki, because it hinted at Kang, and it's getting a second season that may actually do something more with that as well. I mean, honestly, the only movie I'm looking forward to right now is Guardians of the Galaxy, but that is described as an end of an era rather than a continuing story. In short, Kevin Feige describes Phase 4 as an experiment, and it really does show, because Phase 4 doesn't have any sort of connectivity to itself, like it has no idea what it wants to be, and lacks an identity. Yeah, I mean, the action sequences and the humor that it tries to convey can only go so far when there's just not much to connect with. But I guess we'll find out what happens when Phase 5 continues in the coming years. By the time the Kang Dynasty is released, we will see what the multiverse has in store for us.